Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have some more Dollar Tree Farmhouse Christmas DIYs for you. So if that's something you're interested in, then just keep watching. Alright, party people, 1:30 a.m. Melissa here. I cannot be held accountable for the things that I say after midnight. Anyway, we start off with this tray from Dollar Tree, and I paint it with white Waverly chalk paint. I then take this chalk couture transfer, I cut it up and get the ones that I want out of it, and then I take this ho 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 sign from Dollar Tree, which I cut down to size so that the fa la 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 would fit on there. And so I do that by just taking my ruler, I score it a bunch of times with my utility knife. I then bend it back and then cut it from the back. Once I had both sides cut, then I just take my handy dandy Dyson and then I clean up my area. Once I have my area cleaned, I'm a stickler about that, then I paint that with my black chalkboard paint. Now, in that last clip, I wanted to show you guys how good these silicone mats clean up with just a Lysol wipe. They work amazing, and I will link these in my Amazon favorites. I then just fuzz my transfer. If you guys buy these and you don't have a fuzzing cloth, you can use your shirt or pants, whatever works best for you, and then you lay your transfer down, you smooth it out, and then you can mix colors. You can do a solid color. The possibilities are endless, and you get a flawless look every time. So once I had my little trees transferred on, then I go in with my ruler and I just mark the top, bottom, both sides, and then in between all of those marks, because this is going to be a clock and I wanted my numbers to be pretty square and in the right places. So then I just take these skinny sticks, first I held it up to the tray just to kind of gauge how big I wanted these, because we're going to use these skinny sticks for the letters, and then I cut them down to size. Now for the X's, I did cut those skinny sticks a little bit longer just because when you glue them together they do become a bit shorter. So once I had them all cut, then I put the X's together and then I put the V's together. Now if I remember correctly, I made 5 X's, which I don't know why, I don't know what I was thinking, but I only ended up using 4 X's and 5 V's, and then you guys right this minute, I don't remember exactly how many of the ones that I used, but I do believe that I used 16 ones, and then I used 18 for the X's and the V's. So once I had those all put together, then I just take that same chalkboard paint, and I got this chalkboard paint at Dollar Tree, and I painted over all of my little numbers, letters, whatever you want to call them. So next I just take them and I place them where I wanted them. So I initially started with the 12, and then I did the 6. I went over, I did the 3, and then I did the 9, and then I just filled in the rest of them once I had those 4 laid out, just so that way, again, I could have it evenly spaced out. Then once I finished the numbers, then I did go in with my chip brush and some white Waverly chalk paint, and I just dry brushed all the way around those numbers. And yes, I did switch the VI down the bottom once I realized that it was upside down.
Blessed that I can be with you, 'cause God knows that I've been longing for you. I just wanna hold you close. You know the stars are shining just for you. Let's take a walk and we can follow the moonlight till we reach a place we can stay. Maybe kiss a bit and dream away.
Okay, so once I had all that done, then I just took my ruler. I marked right where the middle was. I guess you know how that saying goes. Measure twice, cut once. But I just wanted to make sure that it was directly in the middle because it would mess the time all up if it's not correct. So I then just took a drill bit and I drilled that hole out. Now I've had this for a while, but I did pick up this clock kit. I don't even know. I believe it's a clock kit. I don't know, you guys, but the part that makes it a clock. So I got that as well as these bigger hands. The first pack with the actual battery pack, it comes with hands, but they were really tiny. So I believe that that was for like a smaller clock. I mean, you could use that, but I like the look of the larger hands better. So I did just go ahead and install that kit. It gives you the directions right on the back. And I got this from Walmart for like $5, and then the hands were like $2. So it definitely was affordable. And then once I had that done, I stuck my battery in, I put my time, and you guys, I don't know if I'm an idiot or what, but I had to have my husband help me get the hands right. They have to be set down on that middle piece just right or it won't work. And then he broke the ticker hand, so I had to end up using the smaller hand. So whatever, it still works. I love the way this turned out. At first I wasn't too sure, but it's definitely growing on me. So as usual, let me know in the comments down below what you think. So I wanted to pop on here real quick and let you guys know that my shed is almost finished. I'm so excited. I cannot wait for you guys to see it. But once the inside is complete, then there's a lot to do still to get it ready to the point where I can actually use it. So I was wondering if you guys would like to see a video of me, like, you know, putting my chair together and, you know, putting the storage together, getting everything put away, hung up, whatever. And then once all that is done, then I can do another video doing like pegboard storage, because I'm gonna have a pegboard in there, and also craft storage in a small space, because although the shed is a pretty good size, there's only so much space for organization. So I don't know, I just wanted to run that idea by you guys. I know that once it is done, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a DIY until I get set up and get in there and get ready. So I did just want to give you guys that heads up. Also, I will have a video coming out of the top 2020 DIYs. So be on the lookout for that. I am joining Heidi Sumbull again, and a bunch of other creators. We're all going to do this together. So for the end of the year, you guys will have a lot to watch and a lot of inspiration. And then, you guys, I'm so excited for 2021. There is so much in store. I hope you guys stick around for the ride. If you haven't subscribed already, you do not want to miss a single minute. I love to do farmhouse DIYs, Dollar Tree DIYs, and just all things crafty on a budget. So if that's something you're interested in, like I said, hit the subscribe button down below. Click the bell and then all to be notified every single time I upload. So with all that being said, let's jump right back into today's DIYs. Okay, moving right along to the sign that we painted in the beginning, I just go in with my chip brush and my white Waverly chalk paint, and I dry brush all the way around the edges. Now, fun fact, you're probably wondering, why is the clock piece right there? I thought she just put it on the clock, but originally I was going to put this at the bottom of the clock, and I did. I glued it to it, and I just was not happy with the way it looked. So I did just take it off, and I like it so much better all by itself. So anyway, I take this transfer. Once again, I fuzz it, I lay it down and smooth it out, and then I mix my colors. I just take this candy apple red, and then It is shimmer gold, and I just kind of place chalk paste all around, and then once I have it kind of like a Mod Podge, then I just take my squeegee and I squeegee it off. You guys, this is why I love Chalk Couture so much. You can be a beginner, you can be an expert, and you will get perfect results so easily every single time. If it does bleed through or something, it's really easy to just grab a Q-tip and just fix your mistakes. This is why I love it so much. Like I said, if you want more information, just check the description box. So once I had that transferred on, then I did just make a simple bow and glue that to the top. Bam, you have a beautiful Christmas sign for $1 and some change. Quick and easy. That is what I love, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. Like I said, I wasn't too sure about this one at first, but I know you'll let me know in the comments. So moving on to this one, this might be one of my favorites, but as usual, I probably sound like a broken record. I can never pick a favorite, so I know you guys will let me know, like I said, but I start by taking that silver part at the top off, and it isn't glued down very well, so you'll be able to just pull it off like it's nothing. But then I just scrape that paper. Now, you guys, this is why I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. When I watch the video back, it's just like, Melissa, what are you doing? But I did figure out that I was doing it wrong. I'm like, Melissa, just flip it over. Generally, I use the back, but this day I was just in a zone. So I was scraping the glitter off and sanding it off, and then I literally went through all the steps, painted it. And then it dawned on me, because the snowflakes, the impression, you could see it coming through. And then I'm like, oh my God, I got to flip it over and do it again. Oh well. Anyway, I just mark every 2 inches. I then take my ruler and my utility knife, and I just score those lines, because I like the look that it gives, like it's shiplap or wood. And then I just kind of sand them down, because they will be a little bit raised, especially if you're using a really sharp knife. And then once I had that sanded down, you don't want to sand down too much, because you'll sand it smooth again. So I kind of just take that lip off, if that makes any sense. And then, of course, I clean up my area. I don't know why I'm so OCD. It's just going to get dirty again, but anyway, like I said, any of the products that I use that I can link, they'll be linked in the description box. My Amazon favorites have all my all-time favorite crafting supplies. A lot of you guys say that you shop my links and you love the products that I review, so I did just want to mention that real quick. Okay, back to the round one. I flipped that over. I redid it all on the flat side. So while that's drying, this is how I work, you guys. You got to work smarter, not harder. So I just start by putting these little stickers on. They're like circles, and they're half circles, but they're raised, so it gives that nice look. But my little baby was helping me, and she was so excited, so I wanted to leave this clip in here for you guys to see how stinking cute she is.
One more for you. Hey, Mom?
Hey, bug.
Do one more for you. So you do the other line. I'll do another one. I'll do this one right here, right, Mom?
Good job.
That's so that you didn't have to do right here and all the way up here.
Okay.
Because I didn't want you to do such a long line.
Okay.
You did all of that.
I did.
And then I came to help you with some, because I wanted to help you.
You did a great job, Mom.
Thank you.
Hey, one more. You put the last one.
I put the last one.
Yep, you do the last one.
Hold on, let me get it over here.
The peoples are waiting on you. You're funny.
How do I get it on there?
Here. There you go.
Thank you, Mama.
You're welcome, Mama. Great job, sweet pea. Thank you. You're such my helper. Crafting with Mama, huh?
Yep.
Good job.
We're
Perfect.
gonna do the next one.
We're all done now. High five. Thank you.
You did the other ones by yourself.
I did.
Oh, we have that one to do?
Yep, now I gotta paint over it.
So you gotta paint over it, and it's really hard.
Okay, so obviously I painted that with white Waverly chalk paint. You guys, is she not the sweetest thing ever? I love when she comes in here and crafts with me. Sometimes it gets a little out of hand because she's just into everything, but it's all in good fun, and someday I'll look back and miss these days, so I do my best to cherish every moment. But anyway, I take my chip brush and I take my Moss Waverly chalk paint and I just dry brush all the way around those raised stickers, and then I give it some dry brushing on the inside of this. Now, like I always say, this is personal preference. You can do it as little or as much as you like. Some projects I do more, some projects I do less. It really just depends what project I'm doing that day and how I'm feeling, really. So anyway, I went on my computer, I printed off Believe in the Magic of Christmas, and then I transferred that on with my Arteza graphite paper. I did the same thing for the round ornament. I printed off Merry Christmas, and I also transferred that on with my graphite paper. So once I had both of those transferred on, then I did go in with my Arteza black paint pen. You guys, these paint pens, I rave about them every single video. I use them so much, so I always need a high quality paint pen that's going to last a while because I just go through them so much. And these, I can say without a doubt, they are so creamy and they have lots of paint in them. So anyway, once I went over my wording, I went in with a very tiny brush and some white Waverly chalk paint. Or actually, I used my Arteza acrylic paint, and I went in and I just highlighted those letters, kind of giving them a bit of a shadow just to give them some dimension and character. Once again, this is personal preference. If you don't like the way it looks, you surely don't have to do it, but I think that it just gives it a little something extra. So once I was done with the Christmas tree, then I did do the same thing for the Merry Christmas ornament. I did pull you guys a little bit closer just so that way you could see exactly where I'm placing the white lines and how I do that, just in case you want to remake this project.
Is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas moment we'll fill with love and joy. Love and so beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you, with you. I don't need any presents as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm like jamming to this Christmas music in this video. I'm editing and I'm doing the voiceover, and then I have to change the volume, and I just let it play because it's so good and I'm singing it. But anyway, 2 a.m. here we are, and I am a little delusional. But anyway, I glued the silver part back to the top. I glued down that greenery over top of Merry Christmas. I was gonna do like one piece on one side and then one piece on the other side, but I do that all the time, so I wanted to kind of change it up. It was you know, a little boring. I'm like, let me change it up a little bit. So I did just leave it to the side, and I'm actually totally in love with the way that it looks like that. So I did just show you how I made a simple bow. I folded the ribbon over on itself 3 times, cut it. I cut a longer piece than the folded part. I tied the middle together with some jute, and then I just pulled the tails down, gave it some dovetails, and boom, call it a day. You got a beautiful little bow. Once again, I take my chip brush and some antique, that's a tongue twister, antique Waverly wax. And I dry brush around the edges as well as in the middle to make it look old and rustic. And then I go in with that same Waverly wax, and I just kind of put dabs here and there on the top part. And then I take my cinnamon and I just sprinkle it over it. The cinnamon makes it look like real rust. It's amazing how like real it looks. And then I just go in with a clean brush and I just brush off that excess cinnamon that is not sticking. It's just kind of dust. So anyway, that was it for that one, you guys. Now you know why I think this is my favorite, but like usual, I can't ever choose. Oh, I did decide to glue a pine cone right in the middle of the greenery and next to the bow. Oh my goodness, you guys. I can't ever choose. Why is it so hard? Oh. Anyway, so I had mentioned earlier about you guys recreating my projects. Please come follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to get to 10K. I'm at about almost 3,300. I want to be able to have this swipe up feature, but I want you guys to go over there and tag me with the projects that you recreate, because you guys have no idea how much it means to me. It just makes my heart so full, and it makes me realize, you know, how much I love doing what I'm doing, bringing you guys these projects week after week. You guys are literally my therapy. I don't know what I would do without you, and I love making projects for you guys. So anyway, I just cut some greenery off of a pick. I got these picks at Hobby Lobby, and then I just glued them down, 2 like going up and 2 going down, and then I cut berries off of the same pick and I kind of just added them to the top after I made just a simple double bow, and then glued that to the top. And then that one was literally done. That one probably took maybe a half an hour to create, and I am so in love with this one as well. I was pointing to the back because if you want to hang it, you can just add a sawtooth hanger back there. So moving on to the second to last, I had this board left over that was already finished from a prior project that I didn't end up using. So I went on my computer, I printed this Christmas tree sign off, and then I laid it down on this board. I marked where I wanted it cut, and then once again I just used my ruler and my utility knife and I just scored it a bunch of times and then bended it back and cut from the back. Once again, I did that on both sides, and then I just sanded down the edges. Once I had the edges sanded down, then I again cleaned up my workspace. So once I had my workspace all cleaned up, you guys, I did not realize this, but I don't know what I did, the project that I used this on, but I must have waxed this board because there's like wax on it. So when I went to like transfer it on, it transferred really good with my Arteza graphite paper. But then when I went in to use my paint markers, it was just kind of like pulling up. So I did go in with my Arteza paint pens, and they did not work too good. So I did just go in with a Sharpie because I knew that a Sharpie would stick. But I did paint the axe handles brown, as well as the wood round, I painted the edge brown, and then on the inside I did just go in the little lines with some cashew Waverly chalk paint. And for the axes, I used my Arteza acrylic paint to paint the axes silver. So, you guys, I don't know what my new obsession with watercoloring is, or watercolor painting, but like I'm so into it right now. I don't know, like I said, I don't know why, but I thought that these trees would look really, really cool if I used watercolors. So I have this flat brush from Arteza. Their watercolor paintbrushes are so cool because you put water in the handle of the brush, and then you don't have to keep dipping it in water. You just squeeze that red part, and then boom, you have water for your watercolor. But anyway, the technique that I did with this is I just kind of went heavy-handed, and I just moved my flat brush kind of from side to side, going in random places, and it gives you this really gorgeous effect for these trees. Like, I am so in love with the way these turned out. I'm not really that great. I just started, so I am excited to see how good I can get when I'm a little bit better at this. But I did go in with some brown acrylic paint to do the trunks of the trees. And then I was going to stop there, but I forgot that the company Wood You Bend sent me these samples to try out. You guys, this stuff is so cool. I cannot explain it enough. Like, this is hard, and then you heat it up with a heat gun, or I just use my blow dryer, and the more you heat it up, the more flexible it gets. So I just heated this up, and I liked this because it actually looks like the bark on a tree. So once you have it heated up and it's pliable, then you just kind of add some wood glue and kind of place it in the spot you want, and then heat it up again because it goes hard pretty quickly. But I just had my blow dryer right there just in case, and when it started to get a little bit hard, then I just took my blow dryer to it again, flattened it out, and then once you have it glued down to your piece, it won't go back to the original shape it was. So for like this one, it's, rolled up. But once it dries, then it dries to whatever that shape. So you could use this on like a pot, or, a dresser that has like a curved front. So anyway, this is the first time I use this, and I'm totally in love with this stuff. But anyway, I took my ink Waverly chalk paint once I had all 4 sides down, and then I just painted over that border with the Waverly chalk paint, and I made sure to get in all the grooves. I wanted this to kind of look like bark, like I said. So once I had it painted in black, then I went back in with my hazelnut Waverly chalk paint, and I just kind of dry brushed. And then once I had the hazelnut down, then I went in with this Posh Chalk metallic paste that they sent me as well, and this was really cool. I think because I put it on top of the Waverly, you couldn't exactly see that it was shiny, but I believe that if you just use it straight on the Wood You Bend, then it would be much more shiny. But I was not worried about it either way, if it was shiny or matte. But it does have a little shine to it, just not so much. But look how this turned out, you guys. I am totally in love with that one as well. But anyway, to finish this piece off, I did just take a piece of brown paper from Dollar Tree. I put a bead of hot glue around the edges, and then I just cut that down, just so that way if I sell this or give it away, then the back is nice and finished and doesn't look like a Dollar Tree sign. Oh my God, you guys, those trees. I was not too sure. I always second guess myself when I do, you know, stuff that is outside of my comfort zone, but I'm so glad that I do it. You guys should too. You guys probably, I mean, I get comments that you don't think you can do these things, but you guys, I'm human just like you. I mess up. I take forever sometimes to figure things out, and you know what, that is okay. That is the beauty of DIY, because if you mess up, you can just redo it. You can try again tomorrow, or you can just keep trying and getting better. So anyway, last but not least, I take this little square sign with the beaded handle from Dollar Tree. I didn't like how floppy the handle was, so I did just take some wire that I got from Hobby Lobby. I restrung those beads and then kind of twisted it at the end so they wouldn't come apart. I took the back out and painted it with my White Waverly chalk paint. And yes, once again, it's crazy how much I dry brush, but you guys know that I just cannot have a project that I do not dry brush. It's just not, I mean, it wouldn't be me. It wouldn't be all things crafty if I did not dry brush. So I dry brushed it with ink. I then took these gorgeous chalk couture transfers and I took the little wreath and then Rejoice. I started with the wreath. I was originally going to do the shimmer green and the, I forget which green this is, but two different greens. And then I decided to use the matte green and this shimmer copper. And I'm really glad I did because I love the way that it turned out. I transferred that on. Once I had the wreath transferred, then I transferred on Rejoice in red. And then I put it back into the frame. I then took my stapler and I stapled down the beads. And I'm really glad that I did this because now the beads stand up rather than just flop all over the place like I said. So if you set it up on the shelf rather than hang it, you'll see that it has a beaded hanger. But I love this stapler. It is linked down below. It's so easy to use. You don't have to use any kind of force. But I just clipped the ends off once I stapled that down. I had this, I believe it's called chicken wire border or something like that. I got this at Hobby Lobby in the Harvest collection, and I just haven't had anything to really use it with yet. So I figured that I could put this at the bottom of this sign, and at first I was going to put greenery in it, but I don't think it looked right. So I just cut it down to size. Then I take my stapler, I staple it on. I also leave a bit hanging off the bottom so that I could staple it to the bottom. I clip off the excess, and this is really thin, so I could just use my scissors. And then I added some little mini pine cones in there just to give it some character. And then last but not least, I made a simple red bow. As usual, I couldn't figure out where I wanted it. I settled with gluing it to the top, and then that was it, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. I love you guys more than words can explain. If nobody has told you today, you are beautiful, you are worthy, and you guys are my therapy, my best friends. And yes, I'm going to say it again. I love you guys with all my heart and soul. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you have not subscribed already, I would love it if you'll become part of the family. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed. Share it with your family and friends if you think that they would enjoy it. Those thumbs up and those shares and those subscribes really help my channel to grow and help YouTube to notice me just a bit more. I'm trying to reach 30K by the end of the year. I know that might not happen, which is fine, but that was my goal for the year. Actually, my goal was 50, but once it started nearing the end of the year, then I kind of, reality set in, and I just said, well, if I hit 30K, then I will be happy. And I'm just so grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. Once again, I'll say it over and over. I love you guys, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.